I called my wife at 1 a.m. while I was on a work trip. My best friend answered. He said calmly, it was 1:07 a.m. in a hotel room 3 states away when I called her. The rain outside blurred the city lights into something that looked like regret. I just wanted to hear her voice, to ground myself after another empty corporate dinner. The phone rang twice. Then someone picked up, but it wasn't her. "Hey," he said. His voice was quiet, calm, too calm. I froze. For a moment I thought I had dialed the wrong number. I looked down at the screen. Emma. No mistake. I didn't speak. Neither did he. There was only the sound of rain between us. Then, finally, he said, "She's asleep." My best friend, Daniel. And just like that, something inside me shifted. It wasn't rage, it wasn't confusion, it was clarity. A single, sharp awareness that something was very, very wrong. I didn't confront him, not that night. I just said, "All right, tell her I called." He murmured, "Sure," and hung up. The silence after that call felt alive, heavy, crawling over my skin. For years I had trusted both of them. Daniel, the friend who stood beside me at my wedding, who helped me move, who sat in my house on weekends drinking my whiskey. Emma, the woman who laughed softly in her sleep and touched my arm as if to remind me I was safe. Now, that touch felt like a lie. When I got home 2 days later, she greeted me with a hug that lasted exactly 1 second too long, too deliberate, too rehearsed. "How was your trip?" she asked. I smiled. "Good. Quiet." She didn't mention the call, and I didn't ask. That's how betrayal starts. Not with shouting, not with broken plates. It starts with omissions, with the quiet parts of a conversation where truth should live but doesn't. I began noticing things, small surgical details. Her phone suddenly face down. A new perfume, faint but foreign. Late meetings that didn't match her calendar invites. One night, she laughed at a message and quickly locked her screen. I asked, "Something funny?" She looked up. Too fast. Just a meme. She never laughed like that at my messages. That night I couldn't sleep. Her breathing beside me sounded rhythmic, innocent, like the lie had its own heartbeat. I didn't confront her. Not yet. Emotion clouds judgment. I needed to see it, the truth, naked, undeniable. So I began collecting silence. I checked the phone bill. A number repeated. Late at night, always after I fell asleep. Daniel's. I remember sitting on the edge of the bed, phone in hand, watching the numbers align like constellations of deceit. Dates, times, durations. Each call was a thread. Together, they formed a noose. Still, I played my role. I made breakfast. I smiled. I kissed her forehead before work. But inside, something was detaching. A slow, methodical disconnection from the man I used to be. The next week, I installed a small audio recorder under the living room shelf. It wasn't illegal, it was survival. For 3 nights, there was nothing but silence. Then, on the 4th, voices. Her laughter. Then his. The kind of laughter people make when the world is very small, when only 2 bodies exist and everything has faded into background noise. He said, "You shouldn't tease me like that." She whispered, "Then stop looking at me like that." And then, a pause, a soft sound, not words. I stopped the playback. That was all I needed. The truth isn't always loud. Sometimes it's a whisper, enough to make everything you believed collapse quietly inside you. I met Daniel the next day for lunch. He looked the same, confident, smiling, unaware that his mask had already slipped. We ordered whiskey. He raised his glass. To old friends. I raised mine. To honesty. He laughed. "You're always the philosopher." The calm in me felt dangerous. It was surgical, the stillness before precision. Emma says you helped her move some boxes last weekend, I said. He nodded. Yeah, man, she needed a hand while you were gone. Of course, I smiled, slow. Then I slid my phone across the table. On the screen, a short audio file labeled Living Room, Thursday Night, MP3. He stared at it, didn't touch it. I didn't press play, I said. You can imagine what's in it. His jaw tightened. His pupils flickered with something that wasn't guilt, it was panic disguised as calm. You got it wrong, he whispered. I leaned closer. No, Daniel, I got it recorded. He didn't speak after that. He just sat there, silent, the sound of his world collapsing quietly over lunch. When I left, I didn't pay the bill. That evening, she was waiting when I got home, eyes red, phone in her hand. You talked to him, she said. I didn't answer. I walked to the counter, poured water, drank slowly. Her voice broke. It wasn't what it sounded like. I set the glass down carefully. You mean the laughter? Or the silence between it? Tears came, fast, uncontrollable. I made a mistake, she said. No, I said softly. You made a choice, and that was worse. The next morning, I woke before dawn. She was still asleep, curled on her side like the shape of guilt. I packed slowly, not in anger, but with precision. Every folded shirt was a boundary redrawn. Every closed zipper was a goodbye measured in silence. I left the house key on the kitchen table beside her phone. Next to it, a note. Play the recording again. Listen to how happy you sound. Before leaving, I took one last look around the house. Every memory in that space felt altered, familiar, yet defiled. As I closed the door behind me, I realized something profound. Betrayal doesn't shatter you all at once. It erases you slowly, until the version of you that believed in love no longer exists. But I wasn't gone, not yet. 3 weeks later, Daniel lost his position at the firm. An anonymous email had reached HR, attaching transcripts of late-night phone calls and personal messages. No threats, no drama, just data. I never admitted it was me. I didn't need to. Emma tried reaching out after that. Voicemails, emails. One message read, "Can we at least talk?" I typed one word back, "No." Then I blocked her. Revenge doesn't always scream. Sometimes it just closes a door. Forever. It's been 6 months. I live in a smaller apartment now. High floor, glass windows, no photos. Just space and quiet. People say healing is about forgiveness. They're wrong. Healing is about understanding that some people aren't sorry, and they never will be. And once you accept that, you stop needing their apology. I see her sometimes online, smiling, pretending. Her life looks whole again. But I know what's missing. I know she still checks her phone late at night, waiting for someone to call, the way I once did. And I know she'll never hear my voice again. As for Daniel, he left town. Word was his marriage fell apart. It's poetic, isn't it? How betrayal circles back, how silence becomes justice when spoken by the right person. Sometimes I replay that night in my head, the one when he answered her phone. That calm, practiced voice, the arrogance in it. I think about how it felt, the slow motion break of trust. And then I think about how it feels now. Peaceful, cold, but peaceful. Because when you stop caring whether they suffer, you've already won. I still keep the recording, not out of obsession, out of memory. Proof that even the most beautiful voice can lie. The file name is still the same. Living Room, Thursday Night, MP3. But when I listen now, I don't hear her laughter anymore. I hear something else beneath it. The faint echo of my own liberation.
How could you do this?